make an incision just using the tip of your knife, yeah. And again, if you pull the meat back, as you can see, like I'm doing there, and just little tips, the meat will just come off nice and easy. You don't have to be in there and cutting. Just use your tip of your knife. Make sure it's like a xylophone. You're gliding your knife right against the actual bone, yeah. You can see that it will even just come away without even using my knife. Okay, so that's my tenderloin.
Mince?
Mince, you could, yeah, but you could. It's also because it's the tenderloin, the best part. You might even use it for stir frying, yeah. Lamb stir fry. I don't really even see lamb tenderloins at the butchers. I don't know where they go, but I'd be maybe cutting this up just for stir fry. But we're going to keep these because I'm going to show you to put these into what we call the rosette. We're going to roll that back into the eye of the meat later on. So that's that. So whilst I'm looking at this here, I'm only going to use this part here. So if I don't really need to work too much on that. But firstly, take out the shoulder blade. It's a small one there. Okay, we'll take the shoulder blade out. Pull, it will come off very easy. While it's cold, that is. When it starts getting warm, it gets harder. So this on here is just edible dye, and what it's got on there is telling me that it was slaughtered in SA. Osmeat is the meat stamp telling you that at the quality, and then the 866 would be the number of where it was slaughtered from. Okay, if I had the whole carcass, it would also have a tag on there and tell me which farm it came from. So you could then recount your steps if there was something wrong with it. Because once they've taken it to be slaughtered, and if it's got abscesses in it or it's sick or whatever, then they have to go back and have a look and see has the whole herd got the same problem. Is it something they've been eating somewhere or been so they need to know that. So this will just come off, just nice, just use your tip of your knife.
We need to just remove the dry one, yeah?
Sorry?
We need to remove the dry fat?
Yes, this.
Just a dry one, yeah?
Yeah. Really, when you have this, look, as I say, when we come to cooking it tomorrow, we're going to take that fat off. But as I say, some places you're going to keep that little bit of fat on there, so then you don't want to see all this stamp on there, yeah. So yeah, need to take some of this off. But as I say, it does come off quite easily. But again, while it's cold, that is. Okay, so to divide between the midloin and the rib loin, we're going to bonus. I reckon it was. So that's where it finishes, yeah. So I need to make a line there, yeah. So that's where I'm going to cut up. Okay. And then you can just break that, and that's go through the vertebrae there. Okay, so then I've on it, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be my 8. They've done me a bit short there. Okay, so now I've got 2 pieces. Let me work on this one first. So I'm going to put that back in the fridge. Okay, I said I want to keep it as cold as possible. So once you've taken your tenderloin, the chine bone here, that we've got to take this off. We only want to be left with the eye of the meat. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to keep all this because I need this flap, which I'm going to use to roll the actual eye of the meat up. So I've got to work out.
What do you make with the rollers? The second cups, okay.
I don't know, and other people as well will go in this way. But we'll have a look. I don't think you can get it as well as easy. Yeah. So bend this back. Okay, and then I can feel where the bone is. Yeah. And I'm really pushing hard to keep my knife as close to the bone as possible, yeah? So I've released one bone, the next bone. Okay, so that's now, it's virtually off the bone there, yeah? You can see there that there's no meat left on there. Get it as close as you can. And then again, just by pulling, I can release, keeping my knife as close to the bone as possible, just using the tip of your knife. Okay, and that bone will come off. Now I'm left with the eye of the meat. Yeah. Now once I can move it around here, again I don't have to even use my knife. I can peel this away. Okay. Okay, so that's what I'm left with now. That's the eye of the meat, what I want to use. I want to trim this up. Take off this fat, this is all which was caught up against the actual bone. So trim this, don't take off too much. Now I need to take off some of this fat. So I'm just trying to get a start underneath that sinew. So you see how I've peeled that flap back now. Okay. So I know we've not filleted fish yet, but this is a little bit like filleting fish. I can keep on going in like that and across and then take off, but I keep doing a lot of digging in. Yeah, and I'm not going to get the meat nice and smooth. So what I do, or what I like to do, is put my knife underneath there, keep it near to the board, keep your blade down. I'm virtually just clearing that across the meat. I'm taking it off in one go virtually, all that sinew. Very little taken off. Otherwise you need to keep on going in and taking off, and if you're not careful you'll end up with lots of digging in. So So that's my my midloin, yes, which I'm going to wrap in the fat, and I'll talk about that as I do it. As I say, just if you can, just carefully, we'll take off some of this sinew. So I can then wrap the meat around there. Probably got enough there. Some people just wrap this up, and if you, I don't like eating fat, and you know, it's why would you want to have a slice of this with all this big piece of fat round? It must be nice and thin. So I can get a lot of this off with my knife just by carefully slicing it off. And that's probably as thin as I'm going to get it with my knife anyway, just to protect it. And bat it out, yeah. So when I'm batting this out, go from the middle and don't just bang down, but if we bang and go with a motion to move it out, it'll stretch it as well, yeah, to make it big. Ideally we want this to be the same length as that, so when we roll it up, the fat will actually cover the whole of the actual lamb, yeah? When we're in the restaurant, we will be using this cut of meat, okay? So we will be doing the process, but all we're going to be doing is taking the meat off the bone like that, yeah? And then we'll probably cut it in about there, and that'll be one serve per person, and we'll pan fry that off to order. See, that's quite nice and thin now. I won't go any further than that for now, but that's what I'm going to do. Just get that as close as I can for now, and then I'll finish it off later on.
Beef roll.
Okay, so then that will be my, I'm going to call noisettes, which I'll talk about later on. But firstly, it's nice and thin. You got a nice piece of lamb, but you've not got a real thick piece of fat there. Yeah, you don't matter. That will just nice.